What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 104. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join the chat if you're a subscriber over there. We'd love to have you. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. It's posted over on YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video in MP3 on the following Friday. Merch store, get all your swag over there, t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand, support us, it would be greatly appreciated. And then last but not least, we do have a special announcement in 1 month, as of, shortly after this podcast releases for the MP3 guys and video guys, not live. Extra Life 2021 is coming up, and it is happening on November 20th. That is a Saturday. We're going to be going 24-hour streaming, raising money for Children's Miracle Network Hospital. So any way you can support, whether by watching, donating, even just spreading the word, would be greatly appreciated. So once again, that is going to be November 20th. It's a Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. It's going to start 24 hours of gaming, raising some money for the kids. So yes, that's coming up. Very excited for that. But for this week's episode of the podcast, as you can see, flying solo, we got some fun topics today. Excited to chat with them, or chat about them, so let's get on into it. The first topic today is a viewer topic. If you guys ever have a topic for me that you'd like me to discuss and talk about, you can either put it in the comment section down below, or if you're on our Discord, you can pop it over into that tab section, whatever you want to call it, and I might get to it. Like today, Papa Griff has submitted a topic, and it's about Disney. So I'm going to read it right here. Disney, which of these Magic Kingdom Disney classic attractions do you like the most, and why? When you were young and went to character spots for autographs and or photos, which of them was your fondest memory, and which one was your number one meet and greet? What's your favorite souvenir you were able to get? Which quick service or restaurant did you have the best food at? And if you could stay at any of the Disney resorts, which one would be on your list? So, obviously a lot of questions in that topic there. But yeah, I just thought it's a great topic to kind of do a little nostalgia trip for Disney. I haven't talked Disney on the podcast in a little while. So, I try my best to keep up with Disney, what's going on in the parks, especially through Tim Tracker and his content, seeing all the new rides that are coming out or things that might have changed. Obviously, with COVID being a whole thing, there's been adjustments left and right at theme parks, especially down in Florida, and it's been interesting to see how they've handled all that. But Disney's going through a lot of changes right now. They've added, recently, they modified the Chinese theater in MGM or Hollywood Studios from the Great Movie Ride to making Minnie's Runaway Railway, which looks really fun and exciting. And then Epcot also recently just added the Ratatouille ride in the French Pavilion, which was pretty much just taken from Disneyland Paris and plopped over here. And watching ride-throughs at that, it looks like a lot of fun. It's a copy and paste, but that's fine. So that'd be a fun to experience once we get to that point. And then I don't think they finished it yet, but I know they made a lot of progress. They are currently working on the Tron roller coaster from, I believe, Disney Tokyo or Shanghai Disney. Another copy and paste, bring that over to the Magic Kingdom right by Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, stuff like that, smack dab in the middle there. So a lot of changes going on right now. I think they're also redesigning Epcot entirely to kind of make that more streamlined and updated a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that eventually when we do go back. I haven't been... Disney World has been since 2015, I think was the last time we were there. And then Disneyland, I was lucky enough to go to a few times when I lived out in California, but then the last time I was there was 2019, I think it was, with a lady and some family. And that was good. That was a good time. A little tough to fit everything in one day. That's the only bad part of any trip I've gone to Disneyland. It's been that one day. But all good experiences. So anyways, looking back on the trips, getting back to the topic at hand. We're just going to focus on Magic Kingdom today because that's what Papa Griff asked. So I've talked about it past trips. or yeah, past trips in a former topic of the podcast talked about how, like, as a kid, some of the rides that I reacted to were quite different than as an adult. But there's a lot of good attractions and rides in Magic Kingdom. It's definitely one of the bigger parks that can definitely fill in your whole day. Some of the other ones, I think Epcot's probably the closest to spending a full day at, compared to the other ones, just because it's more of the walk around with, you obviously get the rides and the attractions, but then you get the walk around of all the different countries and stuff like that. So that eats up a lot of your time of your day. But then Hollywood Studios, which they've been improving on, and then Animal Kingdom, it's kind of like you could do the whole day there, but like you have more leeway, I would say. Like, it's not as much of a, I mean, depending really on how you want to do your days, like jam-packed with attractions. I feel like Magic Kingdom, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like, you're going from ride to ride or ride to show, etc. Like, everything, there's no downtime. That sounds bad because it's your vacation, but it's very much point to point if you decide to do it that way. Obviously, you do your vacation however you want to do it. We've done it that way, and I've always enjoyed it because you get a lot of the attractions in. But yeah, so full day there. So there's a lot of options. So as for favorite attraction there, I there's a couple I got to shout out, in general, and Papa Griff mentioned some of them in the topic he brought up, like Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. All fantastic rides. Those ones are great. Splash Mountain's really good too. I know they're going to be doing a refurb of that eventually. I don't know the exact timetable for that, but that's a good one. What else is in Magic Kingdom that stands out? Haunted Mansion's a good one. As a kid, that one I never wanted to go on. I was always terrified of it. I think Papa Griff himself, I think that's one of his favorite rides. But as I've gotten older, obviously, I've come to appreciate it a little bit more. And then riding the overlay during Halloween, they'll switch it to a Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, so they'll change some of the animatronics inside and the theming and everything. That was really cool. What else? The Fantasyland stuff, like, it's not the most exciting or like, whoa, that was amazing thrill ride, but like, I don't know. At Disney, you kind of, you're a kid, or at least you want to, let yourself not be, it's vacation mode. You don't want to be all serious. So like the Fantasyland rides, while they're not the most thrilling and like entertaining in certain aspects, it's like, personally, I always love doing them just because it's nostalgic. It's fun. I talked about previously on the podcast, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, how that stuck in my head. That's a good one. The Winnie and the Pooh one's a lot of fun. That's a good time. I've never done the Goofy coaster, the plain one. I'm blanking on the full name there, but I don't think there's much up in like Mickey's Toontown area. In California, I know they have the Roger Rabbit one, which was pretty cool. I've only ridden that once. That one was a lot of fun for a dark ride. Spins a lot, which I didn't expect it to do as much, so it was more combating the spin, so I wasn't able to fully take in everything, but it was a good time. You make fun of it. Barnstormer, thank you. Yeah, I don't think I've done Barnstormer for Goofy's ride, but so what else is in Fantasyland? I don't think there's much up there. California's definitely got a little bit more of an elaborate one than Walt Disney World and Florida. Oh, okay. Another one that's up there for me. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but the Indiana Jones ride in California. Yes, Peanut Gallery. I know it was not up there for you. Indiana Jones ride I really enjoyed. It's a motion simulator, so I totally get like that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I had a lot of fun with it. I think the reason I had so much fun with it is just the high pace action of like the storytelling. Like, you feel on edge or tension most of the ride, similar to the dinosaur ride in Animal Kingdom, and I think that's a lot of fun. And I remember experiencing that for the first time. Just a blast. Mrs. G says, I thought we did the Born Summer. We might have. If we did, I don't remember it super well. Let's see. Yeah, the train that circles around the whole park and a lot of meet and greets. Yeah, that's mainly Mickey's Toontown and Disney World. So yeah, Indiana Jones for me is another one that's up there. It's not a ride per se, but it's kind of cool. The Huck Finn's or Tom Sawyer Island, that's pretty cool walk around. I don't know, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know realistically how long that's going to stick around for. Like, no offense, but Tom Sawyer's kind of I don't know if that's in the in the know with kids these days. So I don't know how long that will stay around. But it was a fun time, especially if you want to get away from the crowd and just kind of relax. Just walking those paths is kind of cool. And then it seemed like we always found something different each time, or maybe I just never retained the information to realize, like, oh, this is this part. So that was fun. Papa Griff's also bringing up the Speedway and Teacups. Oh, yeah, and wow, how did I forget about Snow White Mine Train, which is the newest one, at least for that area. So, yeah, Teacups, not my cup of tea. Spinning rides, not my thing. I could probably handle it, like going on it, but you're not going to be seeing me whip around in the little cup. Go, 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 go. Yeah, that, oh, boy.
Unless I'm throwing up afterwards.
Right, exactly. You're going to have to clear the system. Speedway was fun as a kid. I don't really know how much fun it is now. And then, yeah, the Snow White's Mine Train is a lot of fun as well. Very smooth roller coaster. Like every bank and turn feels just like you glide into it, which is really nice. And I think it's the basket technology that they used, how your car will move with everything and it's not rigid. I think that makes it really well. But that ride is a lot of fun. I wish it was longer. I mean, most of the rides I do wish they were longer, but that ride's definitely a lot of fun. It's kind of a shame they couldn't keep the old Snow White ride and just have the other one as in an addition. So they got rid of the original dark ride, but I get it. I think something replaced Snow White in the Scary Adventures or whatever the hell it was called. I might be wrong. I might be misremembering that, but you got that. And then Tomorrowland, what else was there? So we've talked about Space Mountain. Oh, wow. Really, really fun one. That's probably upper tier 2, even though it's nice and chill and nice and relaxing. Buzz Lightyear's Ranger Spin, aka Laser Tag, the ride. So much fun. You get in your little buggy and you're blasting all these targets with your laser gun. And it's essentially just a little competition between you and the person you're riding in the car with. But yeah, Buzz Lightyear's Ranger Spin, or whatever the hell it's called, that's a fantastic ride. And then also in Hollywood Studio, having Hollywood Studio if you're in Florida, and then Paradise Pier or California Adventure in California, the Midway Mania, man, that one is just like the whole next step of that ride. I know it's tough for a few people with obviously the 3D glasses and dealing with the screens. But man, those are always a bunch of fun when I go on those rides. So yeah, I would say Buzz Lightyear's up there. Tomorrowland also had Stitch's Great Escape. That ride is no longer, that attraction is no longer there anymore. I think they replaced that with Monster Inc. Laugh Floor, if I'm not mistaken, unless Laugh Floor is in a different area. Regardless, Stitch isn't there anymore. Stitch was a fun experience. I know I kind of dragged my family as a kid going on that one. I'm not sure they enjoyed it. But that one was just like all in the dark, and it was like this stage show. The animatronics in that one were really cool, really awesome to see. But yeah, I get it. Not everybody's thing, and definitely not the best. Never gone on Astro Orbiter. Not sure if I'll ever do that. I mean, I think as a kid I was always like, holy shit, that's up really high. Not saying that verbatim, but it's like, that's up really high. I don't want to do that. So Astro Orbiter's there. And then Star Tours isn't there. Star Tours is over in California, which is another great ride, but I'm not going to count it because I'm kind of focusing on Well, no, I included Indiana Jones, which is California, so I guess I can include Star Tours. Star Tours is great. I remember as a kid, first time going on that, and I must have been so obnoxious and loud, but just like experiencing the simulator of that ride and like, oh my God, we're flying through stars right now. It feels so real, and this is awesome. I remember going, woo, just shouting out everything. It must have been so annoying to everybody else in the fucking...
You would do that today.
I would do that today. That is true. But yeah, that one was a blast. Laugh Floor, I just brought up Monsters Inc.'s Laugh Floor. Entertaining, but yeah, not the greatest. Trying to think of what else is going on. I think I covered pretty much everything in... Pirates is good. We talked about that before. I think I've covered everything in Frontierland and Adventureland. Jungle Cruise is great. I haven't been on it in a while, and I think that will be more entertaining now. Like, as a kid, I didn't pick up on all the corny jokes and the dad puns. I do remember as a kid going on the Jungle Cruise, and we were going into like the jungle ruins, and the captain was like, oh my God, I'm scared, I'm gonna cover my eyes. And I don't remember if he asked me to take the steering wheel or I just was right there when he said it. But yeah.
I'll get us to see.
Right. So yeah, we were going through the tunnels, and I remember it's like really dark, and there's this tiger animatronic there, and the glowing, piercing green eyes. That kind of spooked me, but the ride was fun. I think going on it now, I might get more of a kick out of it with all the dumb jokes, so I'm looking forward to going on that eventually. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to do it in California, but, that's all right. What else? Aladdin's Carpets is exactly the same as Dumbo, just, a carpet ride. That one's okay. Tiki Room is nice to sit down, but it's just a show. That one's okay if you want to sit down for a few minutes. Country Bear Jamboree is the same thing. I'd say that's a lot worse than Tiki Room with those songs. Am I missing any big ones? Mrs. G brought up in the chat, lady's favorite ride of Small World.
It's not even fun.
I like it.
It's not even a good ride.
You get to chill out for a little bit. Yeah, you gotta deal with the song. I understand, but I think that's something.
Questionable depictions of race, but...
Yeah, it's an older ride. I mean, it's not. It could be worse. I mean, yeah. I think the thing, I don't know if Walt Disney World has done this yet, where they've updated it, but over in California, they've added the little animatronics for different Disney characters in their lands. And I think that was really fun, just being like, oh, it's, Alice in Wonderland. Oh, it's, Lilo and Stitch. Seeing them involved in the ride just kind of made a fun, like, little scavenger hunt for that. So that's another one that kind of fits in with the dark rides of Fantasyland, where it's like that nostalgia feature or factor. But it's not like, oh my God, I'm going on Small World. Like, I'm not hype and excited in the line for that one. What else? Okay, this one's another one of those cop-out ones. But over in California, in their Magic Kingdom, they now have the Star Wars land. They have Batuu there. And the first time experiencing that for myself was this most latest trip, not as a kid, in 2019. And, oh, man, that was awesome to experience just that world. Like, they did so well with the scenery and the design of the buildings and the overlay and everything that, like, just what's the term? It's like when you're in a movie, the disbelief, suspension of disbelief. Just like that totally overcame me personally, and just being like, holy crap, everything here looks fantastic, and I'm in this world, and then rounding the corner of the pathway to see the Millennium Falcon just sitting there, that was nuts. Unfortunately, during that time, Rise of the Resistance wasn't out yet, so the only attraction there was the Smuggler's Run, which was still fantastic, and that was busy as all hell. I can't imagine. I know Rise of Resistance has been popular. I can't imagine next time I do go, it will be a few years, but like dealing with that line to see how busy that is, that will be a different park. Florida has it in their Hollywood studio, but that was a great experience over there. I think that's all of the attractions, at least that I can think of. I might be missing out on some other ones. Like I think there's a Little Mermaid one, and California's got the Submarine Nemo one. So let's talk favorites. I've already kind of gushed about a few of these. I don't think I'll do like a top, like a ranking number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever it is, but definitely the rides I enjoy the most at Magic Kingdom specifically. I think Pirates of the Caribbean is a big one up there, and I think something that helps with that is just the nostalgia of thinking back of the refurbishment. I talked about this also on the podcast last week, Talk Disney, but there was one year where we went to Disney and they did a refurbishment of the ride where they added Jack Sparrow in at different points of the ride because, you know, the Pirates films were huge. So the launch was going to be some point during our trip, and we had heard that there was a soft opening for it, so pretty much it's open for riders to come in, but they don't like make it public or announce it or anything. So we had heard from another visitor that they were doing that, and we decided to try it out. And just like the excitement of like, oh my god, this is something brand new, and like it was all secret, not a lot of people knew about it, like that was a lot of fun. And then obviously seeing the animatronics, I'm sure now they probably look a little dated, especially comparatively to like newer animatronics we've gotten in over the years. But at the time, like the animatronic of Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow looked phenomenal. I was like, geez, that is so realistic. So he was added. I think Barbossa was added in the beginning, attacking with the Black Pearl on, you know, Port Royal. Yeah, it was just a good time. I think they refurbished it again recently. Now Red is not part of the like ladies auction. She's like selling some merch, so that'll be interesting to see her new animatronic. And I guess learning this from Annual Pass, shout out to Rooster Teeth and the Annual Pass podcast. Go check them out if you like theme parks. The animatronic for the Wicked Witch of the West in the Great Movie Ride, her animatronic has been recycled and is now used for Red in the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. Apparently she's got a lot of articulation and movement that she can do, so it's going to be exciting to see you know, that added to the ride and see how well that plays out. So Pirates is a good one. The California one's a little bit different with their introduction, which I'm not a huge fan of. It kind of goes around this restaurant and then kind of goes into the thing. I do like Florida's a little bit better, where you're going through like not a prison, but like the structure, and then it leads into the ride, while this one's you're outside in the open and then go to the you know, the ride from there. So Pirates is up there for me, especially once again because of that nostalgia of the past trip. Thunder Mountain's a great one. I think that's definitely up there as well, especially for excitement levels. Fun coaster, nothing too extreme. Has its moments of like, you know, really exciting stuff, but not like anything that's going to break the bank or make you sick or anything like that. One feature that I wish Disney World had compared to California, both rides have the same scene, but California makes it a little bit more of a spectacle, where there will be a scene where you're in a mine shaft that they're trying to continue digging through, and they have a lot of TNT and stuff set up. In California, they have added, I don't know if it's lights or something to it, but they've added a sequence I don't know if it happens every time either. A sequence where you'll see the lit fuses travel along the wall and eventually go to the big TNT up in the center, and it will light and explode. It was fun witnessing that for the first time. Just makes it a little bit more exciting continuing on to the ride. Florida does have the same thing, but they don't have that light spectacle last I knew. So that one's up there for me. And then I'd say for my last one, I would say Space Mountain is going to be my top one. Space Mountain was one I was always scared of as a kid to go on to. But then as a teenager, I felt brave enough to tackle it. Coaster in the dark, single lanes. I think the ride itself is fantastic. Very smooth, and it's exciting. Obviously, being dark, you don't know 100% where you're going. I think something else that helps that one is the presentation going into it. Whether it's the hallways you walk in the queue or when you finally load your vehicle and going up and seeing like the space station like facade around you and going into that. One other thing that will make Space Mountain one of my favorites, and it's unfortunate because it was only a limited time thing, similar to we talked about the overlay for Haunted Mansion being Nightmare Before Christmas, but they had a Star Wars celebration one year when we happened to go, and they rethemed Space Mountain for Star Wars. Now, the coaster track obviously was all the same, and the ride vehicles were the same, but once you got into the ride, they did a lot of projections and like just graphics on the wall or as you're traveling by, and you were essentially put in a dogfight of Star Wars. You saw TIE fighters flying around, X-Wings flying around, and it just, even the audio inside your vehicle of like all the action taking place, was just really exciting. There's a moment where you're going down the track and there's a TIE fighter flying at you and shooting directly at you, which was intense. Just a lot of fun, and experiencing that with my cousin who joined us for the trip. We did extra hours at night, so like there's only a handful of rides open, but there's less people at the park, so you can pretty much get right back in the line and you're almost like right back on. I can't tell you how many times we went on that ride. So much fun, such a blast. So yeah, I think Space Mountain has to be the top right now, specifically for Magic Kingdom. If we were comparing obviously the other three parks into this, that ranking might be a little bit different, but that's for another topic down the road. So there's the rides. Moving on to the next part of the topic. When you were young, went to character spots for autographs or photos, what was your fondest memory? And did I have a number one meet and greet? I don't know if I ever had a number one meet and greet. I think thinking back now, like as an adult back to a kid, I was lucky enough to meet Max from Goof Troop and Goofy Movie. I think that was a cool one just because he's a little bit more niche that you need to know about. I will say the autographs. We did the autographs one year. I think this was maybe the second or third time I was there. And, they were fine to get. Like, it's kind of cool looking back and just being like, oh, who did I get? At the time, like in the moment, a little stressful. And I apologize to my parents if I wasted their time at all or made this weird. But I remember the first one. I think it was Jasmine or one of the other Disney princesses. We stand in the line. I don't know how long it was. As a kid, you never have the perception of time really down. But, it's a long line. I get up there. Obviously, I have this new autograph book. And I'm like, okay, this is the focus here. Like, how am I going to ask? Am I going to be awkward about it? Blah, blah, blah. Goes fine. Ask for the autograph. And I just walk away. No photo or nothing. Just like, oh, man. I was just so embarrassed of, like, I just had you wait in this line this whole time for me. And, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I was just like, oh, man, you messed up. So I made sure the rest of that trip, anybody we went to meet, you got both. You got the autograph, you got the photo. So autographs are kind of for me. I I don't know if I had a number one meet and greet. Like I said, Max was up there for me. The Toy Story characters were cool. Trying to think. There was one year where we went to see Mickey. You're probably like, well, that's a basic one. But it was right in Magic Kingdom, right at the beginning. I don't remember if it's Town Hall or one of those early buildings. But just seeing it's weird, because, like, looking back now, if I were to look back at footage of either my own experience or some other people's experiences, seeing the costumes, sometimes you're like, woof, that's a little dated, or, oh, that doesn't look as great as I used to remember that. But in your own experience, like, in that moment, you never think about it. And, like, I never thought Mickey looked horrible or anything, or not like Mickey. And that's the thing, is, like, your own experience. I don't know if it's just, like, rose-colored glasses or whatever they call it. But he always looked cool. But seeing this one, like, he blinked and the mouth moved. And it was just really cool. I don't know. It was just like, whoa, this is, like, they've improved this shit. And I think that's a standard now for all the, characters, or at least the main ones that they can have, like Mickey, Minnie, to do that. I don't know if they have Donald and Goofy doing that yet. But it's just really cool. Really cool to see that kind of growth and, like, actually actively notice it in the moment of, like, whoa, all right, cool. So I'd say that's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. Nobody's really sticking out as a top meet and greet. Maybe if I looked back through photos or something, I'd be like, oh yeah, that was a really cool one. Souvenirs. Favorite souvenirs. As I was thinking about this leading into the podcast, there was only one example, one trip particularly that kind of stuck out. Once again, I think this was the third trip, maybe the fourth. But there was a year, I think it was the same year Pirates got refurbished, and we're all excited about that. At our hotel, in the gift shop, there was a Jack Sparrow figure. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the size of my elbow to my fingertips. Pretty tall, figure. And it wasn't like an action figure that you're going to play with. It was like one or more of those, like, statues you're going to display. Like, it can articulate a little bit, but nothing's fancy, and you could swap out, like, different parts or different accessories and stuff like that. And I just thought it was really cool, and I kept, like, looking at it whenever we happened to be down there for, dinner or just checking out the gift shop or whatever it was. Really enjoyed it, and I kept thinking about it. And I think my birthday was around the same time this trip was, or something like that. But my family was very kind enough to get me the figure as a surprise. So got that at the park, freaked out about that. Oh, that's really cool. So I'd say that was a big one. The same year, I think I still have these, but they also were going really big on these, like, orb stuffed animals. It was almost like not a beanbag, but like a squishy substance that was, like, just really soft and whatever. But there were orbs of the figures, or of the characters in the world. So there was Mickey, Minnie, Chip and Dale, Donald, Goofy. I think they had one for the Yeti from Everest. And they might have had some other characters as well. But I remember those, and I was like, oh, I want to collect those. So I got a couple of those. Those are really nice. Yeah, some nice gifts there. There's always a lot of souvenirs that you look at this Disney parks, and you're like, geez. Like, some of them you're like, wow, these are really cool. And then there's other ones like, that's really nice to look at, but I'm not taking that. I think each of the Magic Kingdoms has, like, not a glass blower, but, like, some kind of jewelry or, like, figurines and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty, but no, I'm good. I'm going to pass on that. Restaurants, I think the top one, if we're talking, like, quick stuff, is Pizza Planet. Pizza Planet #1. Can't change my mind about that. That one's fantastic. It's not Magic Kingdom specifically, but that would be my favorite. Restaurants. The ones that come to mind, Canada and Epcot, really good food. I would say that one's up there. And then just for the fun of it, I think it's the 80s diner, maybe it's the 70s. Somebody in chat will correct me. This is a diner in MGM Studios, or Hollywood Studios rather, excuse me. That it's good food. It's like family, not family style, but family cooking. I don't know, more relaxed meals. But the whole gimmick is you go in there and the waiters and waitresses don't treat you like crap, but they you're in their place, so you got to follow their rules. No elbows on the table, use your silverware, blah blah blah, please and thank you. And it's fun just because it's like a little give and take, and you're kind of joking around with them. I get it, that's not everybody's kind of thing, but it was fun. It was fun, and it was memorable. And I think that's the big thing for why it stands out as one of my favorites, or at least which ones I enjoyed, is just because of that memorable part of it. And then moving on to the last part of the topic, or the question, is resorts. If I could stay at any of the Disney resorts, which one would be on my list? They have a new Star Wars one coming out that looks exciting. I know they're probably booked way beyond belief now since announcing it, but that one might be cool to experience once they get the ball rolling. It sounds like it's a very interactive resort where you kind of take on a role, or you could take on a role and kind of play into a game of like doing certain missions or objectives throughout your trip, and that will interact with other things. I don't know too much about it, but that seems fun, seems exciting. And then I think the one I'd want to stay at, I'm blanking on the exact name of it. I think it's the art and animation one. I had a chance to go visit it one of the trips that I had gone, just because you can visit the different hotels and resorts and check them out. But the theming and like decoration around the area of just all the different animated movies, they'll have statues of them, or they're interwoven in like the pools or whatever. That was really cool. But I think it would just be fun to see the art and layout inside the hotel rooms as well, see how they've used the artist illustrations, etc., for like either your art decor or maybe some theming in the hotel lobby or whatever it is. So I think that would be one I would want to go stay at if I had the opportunity to do that. But yeah, been a fun Disney topic. Thank you once again, Papa Griff, for that topic submission. If you guys ever have a topic that you want me to chat about, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below, or if you want to join our Discord community, you can put it in that tab over there, and we'll get to it at some point. But yeah, Papa Griff, once again, thank you.